everyone, so today, if you read the title to this, you know what we're doing. We're doing a paranormal story time. This is not clickbait. This is the title, being attacked by a ghost. It's a real thing. And basically, if you've been hanging out here for a little while, well, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. But if you have been here for a while, you may know that my husband and I took a paranormal, supernatural, it was actually an anthropology class that we took where you get the opportunity to go on some paranormal investigations. And so we did that, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But we did that in the class, and we went to this one particular place, and then we got an opportunity to go back outside of class, so on a whole different day. And that's when this happened. And so we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna bring my husband in here. He's my special guest today. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened. And also I have video footage put together from that night when it was happening. And so we're gonna watch that, which some of it's super embarrassing, especially my reaction, but that's okay. We're gonna go through the footage, and then we're going to react to that footage and talk a little bit about what was going on. What happened. And then I know he has information that he hasn't told me yet. There was a lot that happened that was just kind of, I don't know. I still don't know what happened in this one point in time. But we're gonna find out tonight. But before I bring him in, I wanted to mention the sponsor for today's video, which honestly couldn't be any more perfect since we're talking about a paranormal situation today. Today's video is sponsored by Shudder. And if you've never heard of Shudder before, it's a streaming service where you can watch all things or stream all things horror / suspense / thrillers, all of the things, or paranormal. And actually, Shudder has the largest and fastest growing selection of dangerous and thrilling entertainment, anything from blockbuster hits to classics. They also have their own original series and films on there. For example, right now, Shudder has an original series called The Deadlands, which is a series that was produced with a special focus on the heritage of the indigenous Maori tribe of New Zealand. So basically, it features a slain Maori warrior who's sent back to the world to redeem his sins. But the world he returns to is ravaged by a breach between the living and the dead. So yeah, it's kind of a mix between action, adventure, and supernatural, which is a really cool combo. And you can catch a new episode every Thursday. So yeah, that's just an example of one of many of the amazing original series on Shudder. So yeah, definitely check it out. And you can stream said entertainment for only $5.99 a month or $56.99 a year. But right now, I'm doing a little promo where you can try Shudder free for 30 days if you go to www.shudder.com and you enter promo code JADE. That's JADE. I'll have it right here also down in the description box for you, and you can try Shudder free for 30 days. So you do need to go on the website in order to enter the promo code, but once you get Shudder and do all that, you can stream from your Android or Apple phones, also Roku, what else? Amazon Fire TV, Google Chromecast. I stream from Apple TV and love it. So yeah, love the interface, love everything about it. And actually my favorite thing about it right now, I'm super into watching it's called Shudder TV. It's basically just a live stream where they continuously show horror or suspense or thriller movies just in a row. So if you don't want to decide, or maybe you just want to see, like, hey, I just want to be surprised, the Shudder TV just streams them in a row. And I've actually found some really good movies that I don't know if I would have chosen just by scrolling through all the selections. And I was really impressed by them. But if you do want to try Shudder free for 30 days, you can go to www.shudder.com and use promo code JADE. That's JADE. All right, so we're just gonna jump into this. I'm gonna get my husband in here. I gotta get a chair. Yeah, because I gotta put another person here. And we're gonna get into this story time. It's a treat. It is a treat. All right, so we are back. I have my husband here. This is Dallas.
Hello.
He is, I think this is your first time on one of my videos formally. I think yes. You were in a vlog probably like a long time ago. So I mentioned earlier that we had taken a paranormal class, or it was more of an anthropology ghost, special topics ghost class or whatever. And we had an opportunity to go on some paranormal investigations. So we're gonna kind of talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to watch some footage from the paranormal attack which actually he was the one who was attacked by the ghost slash shadow person. So that is why I brought him on here, because I didn't know that I could actually speak on what it felt like. So while we were in this class, we went to a lot of different places and didn't really experience much of anything. I think I showed one, what was, I think it was the Major house, Alexander Major. Alexander Major house?
Warnell was the first
one.
one.
It was Warnell. It was Warnell. Okay, so we went to the Warnell house. That's what it was. In Kansas City, Missouri. And we didn't really get, I mean...
Really nothing.
The story was kind of heavy, and like there was some background there and something, but we didn't.
Well, we thought we had something, but it ended up being just a person sleeping and snoring on the stairs.
No, that's true. But also there was we thought we heard something. Remember in the room, there was a room with a rocking horse. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we thought we heard something, and it was a mouse. Remember that?
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the footage, and it was...
Yeah. Anyway, so we got to a couple different places. And then one of the investigations that popped up was an old psychiatric hospital. We both got picked for it. It's an old psychiatric hospital that's in St. Joseph, Missouri. And it was called St. Joseph State Lunatic Asylum No. 2. And it was established in 1874. The way it's built, it had several different buildings on the property. They were all connected by underground, well, one of them's not so underground, but tunnels, essentially. Tunnels. So they could either move patients during like, the winter, like different seasons, right? That was one of the reasons.
Yes.
And then easily be able to go from one building to the other, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yes.
Okay. So one building was made into a museum, which is called Glore Museum. Glore, just Glore Museum?
I think Glore, yeah, that makes sense.
Saint, I don't know. And it has, like, in the basement, there's the original morgue. And then on the main level, there's just a bunch, I think they brought over the original staircase, remember?
Like the cool railing. Yeah, but it was like closed off. I don't think it actually went, well, no, it didn't go anywhere. It was just like part of it. Yeah, it went into the...
It just kind of went into the wall.
Ceiling.
Yeah.
The wall.
Yeah. They also have basically like a whole, it's like an old psychiatric museum. So it has all the old...
The museum is really cool.
It's really cool. If you live in the Kansas City area, check it out. It's in St. Joseph, Missouri. Because it's really cool. But they had some really interesting devices and equipment and stuff there.
Or that one cat that collected all the cigarette packs. I think he actually smoked the cigarettes too.
Oh, whoa.
Which is kind of, it was it's a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, it was like a whole big thing of all these cigarette packs.
I think she said like 100,000 packs of cigarettes.
Wow. Yeah, and then they also had, also one of the residents there had swallowed a bunch of
it's like
nails
and tacks.
Yeah, nails, tacks. What did she have, pica? Is that what they?
Yeah.
And they had to get in her stomach and pulled all of these things out, and they have them displayed on like a whole display area. It's really interesting. Also, letters from people, drawings, which we'll
like
get into.
Artwork.
Artwork.
That was really cool.
Yeah, really cool. Just really interesting. If you get a chance to go there, it's really good. But if not, I guess we'll continue our story. So the other building is now a prison, or I don't know if it's still a prison.
I think it was just a state prison, maybe.
Yeah. It was a state prison.
Yeah. I don't know how long it's been there though.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But it's a prison.
There's a prison.
And then there was like a little school area that was kind of in the back, which I don't think is there anymore, but it was like a little, which is kind of such a random placement of things. Like a museum, a prison, and a school. Like it's kind of random
and a graveyard.
Yeah, a graveyard.
Yeah.
So random. So the tunnels, too, they had a bunch of the residents go through and paint.
The tunnels, right?
Yeah, in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like this one main tunnel specifically that has the paintings. And it's all of these like figures, and like there's like this Santa Claus.
There's
and
a clown.
Like, yeah, it just feels really eerie because the whole tunnel is really eerie. And then you have this artwork that it just is all around pretty.
Yeah, you feel like you're walking into a really bad situation, like more like in the terms of like a horror movie. Like, you're in this tunnel and there's like this like artwork that's pretty creepy and you get attacked by things.
Yeah, something's painted on the wall and then it comes to life or something like that. And I actually have a bunch of footage from when we went to our first investigation there. So if you want to see that, I can totally do a separate video. But that one's more of like, there's some EVPs, there's some shadows that we got, but nothing that was super, I mean, it was really good, but not...
there's some noises and stuff, like kind of command a little bit of,
I mean, if you want to see it, let me know, because I'll totally do a video on it. But it wasn't as extreme as this story that we're going to tell today.
Yeah.
So anyways, now getting into the full story now that I've babbled on for 5,000 years. Okay. But anyways, we wanted to go back because of the experience we had. So we went back, we started in the morgue because that's where we had the most activity when we had gone the first time. And it was dead. No pun intended. So we're like, okay, we're going to go down. We're going to go into the tunnels and see if there's anything there. And if we don't have to spend a ton of time in there. Because honestly, I didn't really want to go back to the tunnels because the first time, nothing had happened to us. So I think we thought we heard a growl, but there was someone in the class that had a history of
growling.
Admittedly growling. Like they said that they were like would meow or growl to trick people into thinking they had heard something. So I took a lot of stuff with a grain of salt when it came to growling or meowing. But the second time we had gone, they weren't with us that time. All right, so now that I've talked for 5,000 years, we're going to watch this video footage and we're going to react to it. I don't know if we need headphones to hear, because there is a growl. Well, it may help you if you don't hear some of these things to put on some headphones. This first clip is when we are walking into the tunnel area. So the buildings are they're across from each other. And I guess we're just walking between two buildings, essentially. There's the one building that has a museum and then the other building that has tunnels. And then the tunnels would lead to the prison, which we didn't go to.
Yeah.
It's like a door that goes into tunnels. Okay, so I'm gonna play this. Yeah.
I don't know. The meth should have been the first red flag, is that what you're saying?
Did anyone hear that?
Yeah.
It was a growl, and a loud one.
So I'll put a little cue where the growl is. So for me, when I heard it, like when I was really looking at this, first of all, it could totally be a growl. But I was thinking that we were coming through the door, and the door was swinging shut. So like, ooh. Right? Want to hear it again? This is just me. This is what I do. Okay. Yeah.
The meth should have been the first red flag, is that what you're saying?
There's something else that happens too that's really strange.
Yeah, it's kind of deep.
It sounds like this. First of all, I hear this, and then I hear like somebody say something almost like death or says something like loud. Like, I don't even know what it is. Hold on, let me play it again.
The meth should have been the first red flag, is that what you're saying?
Did anyone hear that?
Yeah. Hedge? What was it? Hedge?
Yeah, hedge, dead.
Something like that. But it's weird, right?
Yeah.
The meth should have been the first red flag, is that what you're saying?
Did anyone hear that?
It's like a very strange voice. If you hear it, let me know.
It's really deep.
Yeah. Hedge. Dead.
The meth should have been the first red flag, is that what you're saying?
Did anyone hear that?
All right, so we moved on. There's like a room before you go into the tunnels.
Yes.
And it had a lawnmower.
Had a lawnmower, a tarp, maybe some like hedge clippers.
Like straight up.
Yeah,
Again,
an
from
axe.
a horror movie.
Oh, no, only one way in.
So I'm gonna play the footage and then I'll explain something that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a growl, and a loud one.
Yes, we're back.
No, don't attack me. Sounded like it was coming from home.
What?
I empathize with it.
What is it?
I'm sick of us too.
What is it? What was it? Okay, first of all, I'm so scared.
Sounded annoyed.
No, I wasn't annoyed. I was
Like,
scared. Like, I sound like I'm being a total bitch, but like I was being like, what? Like freaking out, like panicking. So, but when we walk by, you see this door. It's like a curtain with
like a tarp.
with like a closet, like a utility.
Yeah.
It's a utility closet, but all the utilities are out. Like the mop, like everything else is just sprawl, but that's there. So when we walked, I remember this. When we walked by that, you were kind of doing the thing where you kind of were like,
Nudging,
like get over it. Like, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what? And I remember you were like, and I'm like, what is it? What is it? And like I kept saying, what was it? You would not tell me.
And I don't really remember like this part, like walking in, like and already experiencing like, you know, weird shit that we just didn't.
That makes me so sad because the main question I had was what was there? Because
But there was a weird feeling even before getting to the weird tunnel with the weird artwork. The place just didn't seem right. And it wasn't even necessarily that I thought like, oh hey, we're gonna see a ghost or something. Like maybe somebody followed us in there.
We were
Right.
both pretty nervous about that because the door was unlocked while we were doing the investigation. So like anyone at any point in time could have walked in there or whatever. So that, I totally get that. But also worth noting is that you are not the type of person that says something unless it is like bad. Like,
Yeah, in that
attention.
situation, I was almost just like, something felt weird, so I'm just kind of alerting you a little bit, like, that, hey, something seems wrong. I don't know, we should just be a little bit more alert.
So now we're moving into the tunnel, like entering the tunnel. That's gonna have a bunch of artwork, so you'll be able to see some of the artwork on the walls. And we didn't have flashlights. Remember we forgot our flashlights?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We'd forgotten our flashlights. We had our phones, but okay, so this camera, I guess I should have explained this earlier. This camera is terrible. It's not a terrible camera. I'm not saying it that way. It's terrible for night vision. I was just vlogging for personal vlogging, A, and B, for some reason, this camera has some strange microphone on it that picks up these sounds from afar, from another realm, maybe. I don't know. I just get a lot of EVPs on that camera.
Yeah.
It's very strange. So we had our hands full. So we're like, we'll just follow the people in front of us. They have flashlights. So we'll just follow behind them. So anyways, we're walking down the tunnel and then I'll just let it happen. I'm so embarrassed by this part because my reaction is, I freak the F out. I'll just say that. Okay, here we go. I know. You said it's creepy in here just in general, and it definitely is.
Yeah.
That was me.
Look at Santa, guys. Oh, Santa's really. Look at his eye. Look at him.
Is that you? What is it? Oh my. Oh my. What? It was a person. What is it? Is it a real person? First of all, you said you saw somebody behind us first.
Yeah, there was somebody behind us, and I just assumed that maybe somebody followed us in, and, the way in is the only way out, too, so it's like we're getting deeper in, and I'm like, man, I think there's somebody back there, like, followed us in.
So did you feel them back there, or did you actually look back and see them?
I mean, it just, something felt off, and then when I looked back and I just saw, like, a figure, I mean, I thought maybe I could have been seeing something, but, like, I mean, somebody was back there.
So I had no idea that you had seen it before it came up on you. So what I saw was, you hear Dallas in the video say, what do you say, Jade? No, you didn't even say anything. You had done something to get my attention. I don't know if it was like, you know how sometimes to get our attention you squeeze me twice?
Yeah.
Like squeeze twice or whatever. You had done something like that. And I looked over and you hear me say, this is the weirdest thing to say too, is that you? You hear me say, is that you? I'll play that part right now just so you can see it because it's so funny. Is that you? What is it? So I'm like, is that you? And you say, no.
Like I said, before that, I had seen it like back there, and it just kind of like came really quick. When I started doing that, you're like, hey, is that you? And like that's when you saw it, and it almost just flew like here, and then just like went along the wall.
I looked over, and there was a shadow. I didn't think it was a shadow because there was actual like if you were standing up on me, and I can feel your energy coming off of you. It felt, but like it was so threatening.
It was very consuming.
And he wasn't even he didn't even tell me what it was. And then I look over to, like, he didn't say where to look. It could have been up here, back there. It was on him. It was like pressed against his shoulder. It looked like a human figure. That's why as the thing rolls on, I'm freaking out, clearly. And I'm like, is that a person? Was that a real person? Oh my gosh, it was a real person. Like, in my mind, I had thought that it was a real person.
I actually thought it was a real person at first.
Yeah.
Like somebody followed us in, and that was it.
Oh, and then I abandoned him, left his ass with the spirit, the meme that has spirit. And I was like, see ya. I ran further into the tunnel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, there's no way out. Instead of going the way with the door, I'm running to the wall, which was a really bad choice. I was probably not the person anyone wants to be with if anything bad happens ever. But it was definitely a violent, okay. I felt something violent when I looked over. And then I thought for a second it was a person, but I realized that I didn't see any sort of definition in the face or in the eyes.
It was just pitch black. It was just like a figure that was just absorbed everything.
Yeah.
It was the blackest black I've ever seen.
Yeah. So now to go to your story. So when we walked in, it was almost like immediate. Well, pretty much. I mean, it was like right there with that what do you call it, tarp?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tarp.
Right when you get to the tarp, the axe, the lawnmower, and the gasoline smell.
You know it's bad.
Before the demonic Santa. So yeah, I mean, after watching that too, I didn't, I forgot that I already had a weird feeling coming into the situation. So we're walking down, and Jade and I are pretty much side by side at this point. And I just felt something or somebody was there that wasn't supposed to be there, or not with our group, at least. And I'm kind of like looking back because, you know, there's one way in and one way out, and it's the same. And I just see this silhouette, this figure. Couldn't really make out any like features of it, just like a humanoid figure that was just pitch black. Like a shadow, you know, but it could have been anything.
Did it feel as menacing at that point?
It felt super menacing at that point.
Okay.
I think that's why I was sort of panicking at that point, you know, and getting you.
Wait, so when it was behind us, did it like, it rushed up on you?
Not quite yet. So I kind of start going into this like panic mode, like, shit, somebody followed us in here. I start kind of trying to get Jade's attention without saying something to like, either make everybody else like kind of freak out, or not only that, like the figure that I saw behind us, I couldn't be, I wasn't certain that that figure knew if it was a person that I saw them. So just trying to figure out a, you know, constructive way out of what may be a really bad situation.
So when you nudged me, it was still behind us?
Yes, it was, I saw it like at that point.
Okay, because the time he nudged me and
it was pretty far back. It was still pretty far back.
The time that he nudged me and the time that I saw the figure was like this.
It was like that, yeah. And that's...
So that would say how fast it probably is.
Yeah. So as I'm like trying to get Jade in front of me, like do this because, you know, we're at the end.
He's protecting me.
Kind of get her, I'm protecting her. And gets her in front of me, and by that point, I'm looking over too, and I just see this figure like, just like kind of like zoom across the wall. And then that's at that point, that's when you saw it. Right? And then it was just right behind me, like kind of, you know, side behind me like this, and you could just feel it like almost to a point to where it like, you know, saturated all of your senses. Like it absorbed you, and then it grabbed me. And you'd already cruised at that point.
I thought that you said it had wrapped around you.
Well, right, yeah, it absorbed me. Feeling at first, like the, you know, absorbing me, wrapping around me. And then there was actually like a physical, like, you know, grab. Like, it grabbed me. And
where did it grab you?
It just like down here. It grabbed my leg.
Oh god, that scared me.
Yeah, it grabbed my leg.
I just kicked my water bottle and I'm like, no,
yeah.
Okay.
Like it was trying to trip me at that point, but it, you know, it already absorbed. It was like absorbing, and I still didn't know at this point that it wasn't a person. I mean, it was weird, like, you know, but it happened so quickly. It just like went along the wall and then just absorbed me. Then when I actually felt like, you know, I mean, human sensation of something grabbing me, that's when I'm like, yeah. And then until it's like, whoa, what just happened? Like, so it took a little while to process that. It wasn't somebody that just followed us down there. And
when I saw it, it was actually shorter than you, which I mean, you're 6'1", 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
right?
6'1". Yeah.
So like, but it got
bigger.
It was only like right here. It wasn't like a little goblin or anything.
No.
But it was like right here.
Maybe no shadow figure was a goblin.
It's Critters.
Yeah, Critters.
The Critters is on Shudder, so
and it's awesome.
Shorter. Well, you said it got taller.
Yeah, it just consumed everything. So I mean, obviously, it got big and just like blanketed me.
And then at the time, you had told me that it drained your energy completely.
Yeah, it will drain like everything. Like I almost like couldn't speak. It's like my hearing just went like, you know, just like a buzz. You know, my vision was kind of just like, you know, just super disoriented, like really, really quick. So yeah.
Wow. And you
so it almost took like everything out of me in a really short period of time. And then that's when it like grabbed me, and like if it seemed like it was trying to trip me, like pull my leg out.
Let's play a little bit after that so we can hear you, because I don't think I think you're like at
I
loss
tripped
for
because that's when you kind of like took off because I almost like fell into you at that point. So I think that's when you
I'm sorry I
kind of bolted.
abandoned you. That's terrible. Okay, but if it was a real person, you would want one of us to survive, right? No.
Look at Santa. Yes. Oh, Santa's really Look at his eye. Look at
Is that you? What is it? Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. What is that?
Yeah, that's it going across the wall. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because yeah.
No.
Because that's when it just like kind of moved like super quick.
I could be
like,
sick right now. That
Like
just made
really
me sick.
quick, yeah.
Okay, so at some point, I'm gonna play this over and over again a few times. There is something that crosses in front of me. The people in front of us don't even know at this point. Like you hear them say, what? But no one would go across my camera or go across the tunnel. And it's see-through. When I say, oh my f***ing God, and then they say, what? Between that time, you see something pass in front of the camera. Oh my f***ing God.
It was like right at that time, like literally within a second, everything like happened.
So we're gonna see what what happened after. It was a person. It was like straight up shadow person.
Where? Down here?
What is it? A straight up shadow.
What is it?
What is it? Is it a real person? It was a person. It was like straight up shadow person. At that point, you said, holy shit, Jade.
Yeah.
You called back for me and I still left you behind.
The demonic Santa with the axe and a can of gasoline coming after me by myself.
No, it's not funny because it felt really terrible.
Yeah, it did.
It did feel pretty
It felt
bad.
terrible.
We laugh because we have to laugh in order to cope with what happened. But okay, let's continue.
Someone back there?
Oh my God.
You growling at us? Come on out and show yourself.
What was that?
Somebody's growling. Yeah.
Go?
That's funny.
Did it say go?
I don't know. I didn't hear that at the time.
I didn't hear that either
And
at the
I've
time.
never, yeah.
Listen to this. What does she say?
Show yourself.
Show yourself? What'd she say?
Come on out and show yourself.
Yeah, come on out and show yourself is what she says. So this is one of the people who,
She's the
main investigator.
Yeah,
One of the main
We're
investigators.
like the lead her and her husband. Are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lead investigators.
Yeah.
And they organize the.
Right, and so she's a badass, first of all, and straight up called out the shadow person.
We're seeing almost like a terrible idea to do at the time, but it's like, yeah,
I was like, get him!
get him.
And she's like, no one messes with my friends, and I'm like, yeah! But then at the same time, I'm like,
Then it scratched
was
her.
straight up a shadow person!
Yeah.
like freaking out, being bossy.
Come on out and show yourself.
No?
Yeah, actually, it does sound like it says no.
Come on out and show yourself.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
not your voice.
No, that's not me. I mean, I don't.
Come on out and show yourself.
Yeah, that would be really unusual. You don't ever speak
Yeah,
like...
I'm not. So
You don't growl?
On this occasion, I didn't, I don't just only speak in, guttural death metal.
You don't go through
Delivery,
tunnels. You
so-
just walk through tunnels randomly
Although I
and
shouldn't do
growl.
Yeah, good times.
Just hanging out on a lawnmower in a tunnel growling. Okay.
Come on out and show yourself.
Sounds like no.
Sounds like no.
Yeah.
Come on out and show yourself.
Anyway, I don't think there's much more.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, she gets scratched?
Well, yeah, she gets scratched, but we have this we have the K2 meter, and like she was asking.
yeah, okay.
Apparently had a major problem with me. I don't.
Yeah, we had the
And it would just go like, "Do you not like him?" And it just go red.
Yeah,
It was kind of like, we
I don't
should probably
know.
get out of here. This isn't
I don't know.
good.
Did I get it on camera?
No, yeah, I think so.
All right, where'd you go?
Do you not want Dallas to talk to you?
Were you trying to get Dallas's attention? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they went straight to red after asking
Right.
if they were trying to get your attention. And it had been green for a minute.
Were you trying to get Dallas's attention? Yeah. Okay.
It was asked if it was, wanting my attention or didn't like me. It was just kind of, went off. And then during that process too, the lead investigator, she got scratched like on her neck, and like we almost like watched it appear there. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of bizarre. Yeah.
But at that point, I just like didn't take a picture of it because I don't want to like, if someone gets scratched or like, I don't know, I don't want to take a video of somebody else getting assaulted by a ghost. I just don't want to, like, I want to, you know, be.
You would generally think that,
give
like,
some-
hold on, let me get this. But volatile situations, your camera's usually like down. You're like, you know, not really paying attention.
I wasn't.
Next time you probably should, hey, I know you're getting attacked, but let me get this on
Like, does
film.
it hurt? Let me
Yeah.
get it. I didn't even want to do this video. I didn't want to talk. I feel good now that we talked about it and we've had this session together. But it took me a while to even want to talk about it because it was really traumatizing, I thought. I remember we'd even, as we get ready and stuff for the day, I'd be like, I'd think of something else, like another way to talk ourselves out of it. Oh, well, it could have been one of the paintings on the wall. Like, oh, maybe we just didn't.
Yeah,
So,
we like kind of went through every possible scenario. And it was just hard to even like wrap our head around the fact that it wasn't a real person because it seemed like a real person came in.
and we double checked too. Like, the thing is, like, if two people are seeing the exact same thing without even telling each other what it was, then, and then like the car ride home was very much like that. Like, what did you see? And then I explained to you what I saw, and you're like, yeah, that's what it was. So like, and he had never even told me. Like, even as we were in the tunnel, he wasn't like, this is what it was. I was like, it's a straight up shadow person. But he wasn't even, you know. So yeah, I mean, it was scary.
It was very, very scary.
Anyway, so that's our story, our paranormal, was it story time? Yeah, that's...
Getting attacked by a shadow figure is not cool.
No.
It's most non-triumphant.
All right, so that's our story. We're sticking to it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey ghoul hey. He's never been here for this. Hey ghoul hey down in the comments because you know I love talking to you. Also, let me know in the comments any paranormal experiences you've had, any run-ins with shadow people and or demonic Santas.
Yeah.
Or lawnmowers, axes.
Yeah, demonic Santa on a lawnmower with an axe.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you've had that experience, let us know.
Happens to us every day.
All the time.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the person who mows our lawn.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Also, if you want to hashtag Jade the Libra on Instagram and let me know what you guys are watching on Shudder, or if you have any paranormal photos or anything, if you want to hashtag Jade the Libra, I would love to see any evidence you have. I'm starving. You want dinner?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I mean, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You come back. Anyways, bye.
See you.